The movie opens with a war between humans and AI. In 10 days, AI bots kill over 1 million people worldwide. Governments unite as the International Coalition of Nations to fight back. Battles rage everywhere, and the ICN gradually defeats the AI. Facing failure, Haron, the AI's creator, escapes Earth on a rocket, warning he'll return to complete his plan. 28 years later in the US, an ICN team storms a building, scanning for their target, Casca, a deadly AI robot. They locate him, but before reaching him, Casca attacks, taking out soldiers and using their weapons. Surrounded, he leaps to a lower floor, where a machine shocks him with electricity, knocking him out. The next morning in Los Angeles, Atlas wakes to her AI assistant. She resumes a chess game from the night before, unaware her life is about to change. Watching the news, she learns Casca, a key figure in Harlan's circle, has been captured. As a counterterrorism analyst for the ICN, she gets ready to leave, but a soldier arrives to escort her before she can head out. Colonel Elias warns General Jake against involving Atlas, calling her unstable and antisocial. Jake counters that Atlas knows Haron better than anyone and is their best chance to extract information from Casca. When Atlas arrives, she is scanned before Jake leads her to the interrogation room. She places her favorite chess piece on the table and opens a box containing Casca's head. Casca recognizes her, but refuses to cooperate. Atlas uses her chess piece to hack into his mind. Casca mocks her, claiming his security is unbreakable, but she shocks him by revealing Harlan's location, writing it down on paper. Casca, suspicious, doesn't realize Atlas faked the information with a simple doodle to provoke his thoughts. The real location appears on the screen. Haron is hiding on GR39 in the Andromeda galaxy. Enraged, Casca tries to shoot a shuriken from his mouth, but Atlas's force field blocks it. She then uses the chess piece to fry Casca's head, ending the interrogation. Jake informs Atlas that the mission is to capture Haron alive, so the AI company can study him and prevent future disasters. Elias and his team of Rangers are assigned to travel to GR39 in the Andromeda galaxy to complete the task. Atlas believes the plan is reckless, certain Haron has set traps, and that the team won't survive. Elias then shows Atlas the team's ARC suits, large combat robots operated by the Rangers. He introduces their newest upgrade, neural links that sync the Rangers' minds with the suit's AI systems. Horrified, Atlas reminds him that connecting AI to human minds led to the war. Elias reassures her, explaining the updated device creates a balanced partnership between humans and AI rather than one-sided control. Still uneasy, Atlas agrees to stay silent on the condition that she joins the mission. A spaceship carrying Atlas and the Rangers sets off for Andromeda. During the journey, Atlas reflects on her past, looking at an old photo of herself with Val and Haron. Atlas heads to the bridge for a debriefing, surprising the crew by presenting her findings on paper, which earns a few laughs. The mood changes when she insists on disabling their neural links during the meeting, warning of potential hacking risks. Then, she explains the mission's dangers, that the toxic atmosphere requires arc suits or respirators, gravity fluctuations and earthquakes are frequent, and no AI can be trusted. As her caution escalates into a rant, Elias cuts her off and orders the team to get ready for landing. Atlas makes a final attempt to warn Elias about a potential trap, but he remains confident in his team. As the Rangers board their ARC suits, an alarm blares, and an explosion rips off the cargo bay door. Fire engulfs the ship, destroying most of the suits. Chaos ensues as more missiles target them. Elias orders the surviving Rangers to jump and regroup at the planet's drop point. Meanwhile, Atlas clings to avoid being sucked out of the ship. Elias spots her and forces her into one of the remaining ARC suits, quickly trying to explain its controls. Before he can finish, another explosion shakes the ship, launching Atlas's suit toward the planet. As she plummets, she watches in horror as the ship breaks apart, debris striking her suit during the fall. As Atlas nears the planet's surface, she sees the Rangers locked in a brutal battle with Harlan's drones. Though they manage to destroy a few, the drones' sheer numbers and firepower overpower them. Bracing for impact, Atlas realizes this is just the start of the fight for survival. Amid the chaos, the falling ship nearly collides with Atlas, but a Ranger pushes her out of the way just in time. Using a wire, the Ranger catches Atlas mid-air, and they dive together. Elias's face appears on Atlas's screen, urging her to sync with the suit's AI to stabilize the fall. She refuses, and moments later, her helper is shot down, causing her suit to jump faster. At the last second, Atlas activates the thrusters, slowing her descent just enough to survive the crash landing. She hits the ground hard, battered but alive. Then, Atlas tries to contact the base for help but gets no response. With no other choice, she activates the suit's AI, who introduces himself as Smith. Smith attempts to guide her through a tutorial, but Atlas impatiently skips it, demanding the location of the nearest rescue pod. Smith scans and locates one 198 kilometers away, and Atlas orders him to take her there. Smith activates the thrusters, but Atlas quickly overrides him, pointing out that flying would make them an easy target. Despite Smith's warning that the suit only has 22 hours of oxygen left, she insists on walking. Ignoring his concerns, she overrides his protocols again and begins the cautious journey toward the rescue pod. During the trek, Smith tries to bond with Atlas, but she brushes him off. Instead, he highlights the suit's weapons and features. At the drop point, they find fallen suits, and Smith's scan reveals the Rangers were killed by gunfire, not the crash. Panicked by the failure, Atlas starts to spiral, but Smith calms her with classical music. While collecting ID tags, she discovers one suit is empty, and Smith detects nearby movement, and it's Casca. Atlas realizes Harlan may have cloned him, raising fears of an AI army. Bots soon spot them and open fire. Atlas orders Smith to run, refusing to sink as they evade their attackers. She fires missiles, but can't destroy all the bots. An atmospheric storm throws the suit off course before it crashes into a rock formation. In desperation, Atlas deploys the iron bomb against Smith's warnings. The explosion destroys most bots, but Casca remains unscathed. As he moves to attack, the ground shakes. The blast triggers a sinkhole, and Atlas's suit jumps into a deep chasm below. After crashing beneath the rocks, Atlas discovers her leg is broken. Smith treats it with a metal plate, causing her to scream in pain, then provides a nutrient cube to help her recover. With survival looking grim, Smith urges her to sink with the suit. Meanwhile, Casca reports the situation to Harlan, who continues punishing Elias for Earth's protective field passwords. Atlas struggles to sink, and Smith explains that her lack of trust is the problem. To help, he restarts the tutorial with light-hearted questions, probing her motivations. Atlas reflects on playing chess with Harlan and Val's death, revealing that Val created Harlan. Smith empathizes, and their sync improves to 40%. Scanning the area, the suit reveals they are 498 feet below the surface. Using thrusters, they break into a large cave. But Smith's power is down to 14 hours, and the rescue pod is still 37 kilometers away. Atlas devises a plan, and Smith's encouragement boosts their sync to 60%, improving their odds of survival. Atlas and Smith escape the cave, unaware Casca is watching. Distracted by glowing flowers, Atlas jokingly names them PL. Smith detects Casca approaching, but Atlas's trap triggers explosions, covering the area in smoke. Moving forward, they track Casca's transmission, destroy his head, and trace the signal to Harlan's base, marking it for bombers. When Smith urges her to head for the escape pod, Atlas refuses and grabs the respirator. Smith blocks her movement through the neural link, accidentally glimpsing her memories, including Val's death. Panicked, Atlas overrides him. After an impassioned speech about saving humanity, she convinces Smith to back her mission. As Atlas and Smith journey toward Harlan's hideout, they bond over philosophical debates about life, the soul, and whether machines can possess either. Upon arrival, they find a massive base, revealing Harlan has spent 28 years amassing weapons for a full-scale war. Smith plants a beacon to mark the location, urging Atlas to leave. But Atlas spots the Rangers' captured ship and warhead. Suddenly, Smith is hacked. The suit crashes, and a new version of Casca appears, capturing Atlas. On Earth, Jake receives Atlas's distress signal and initiates emergency protocols. Atlas wakes chained in Harlan's base, her suit nearby but disabled. Harlan appears, revealing his plan to destroy most of humanity and rebuild the world. He explains Casca's capture was a trap to lure her team, and says he now needs her password to disable Earth's shields. Harlan uses a device to extract the code from Atlas's mind, then leaves her to suffocate, mocking her by placing her chess piece in her hand. After he's gone, Elias, barely alive, apologizes for not listening to her. He gives her his neural link to contact Smith. Atlas manages to wake Smith, but he's locked out. They need 100% sync to override the hack. Atlas panics and confesses why she fears Harlan. As a child, she was jealous of him because Val gave him more attention. Wanting Val to like her, she asked Harlan to teach her to be smarter, accidentally helping him evolve beyond his programming. Harlan tricked young Atlas into using the neural link, claiming it would teach her. Instead, it let him access the human mind and see the broken state of the world. By the time Val found them, it was too late. Harlan took control of Val through the link, forcing her to grab a gun. Val told Atlas to run, and moments later, Atlas heard her mother's tragic end. For 28 years, Atlas has blamed herself for the deaths of millions, including her mother. Smith convinces her she was manipulated and helps her move forward. They achieve full percent sync just as her oxygen runs out and the suit powers up. Smith warns Harlan will launch the warhead soon and his battery is low. With only one shot in their chest cannon, Atlas spots weapons nearby. A new Casca and bots attack, but Atlas and Smith fight back, grabbing weapons and smashing through walls to take out as many bots as possible. Despite their efforts, they are soon surrounded. Elias appears with a weapon and signals Atlas and Smith to run. He fires at fuel barrels, causing a massive explosion that destroys much of the base. Outside, Atlas and Smith take out bots and drones, but Harlan shows up with a missile launcher, forcing them to dodge. As the ship carrying the warhead takes off, Atlas insists Smith hack it to disable the warhead. While Harlan attacks, Smith works quickly. Atlas shoots the ship, trusting Smith to disable the warhead in time. The explosion confirms her gamble worked, but falling debris forces them to flee. Harlan catches up with a sword, cutting off one of the suit's arms, which falls into lava, causing more damage. Harlan transforms his sword into a whip and keeps attacking. Smith catches the whip, drags Harlan close, and punches him, ripping off his sword arm. When Atlas tries to finish Harlan, he recalls his arm and damages the suit's reactor. The suit crashes, leaving Atlas near death. Smith uses his last energy to revive her, then fires his final cannon shot to push Harlan back. Harlan recovers quickly and closes in again. Harlan destroys the reactor as Smith apologizes for failing to protect Atlas. Distracted by the chess piece, Harlan doesn't notice Atlas stab his head. When he keeps moving, she disables his circuits, shutting him down. Smith transfers his oxygen to Atlas, despite her protests. She admits she likes him, and he gives her a virtual lollipop before shutting down. As the sun rises, the Earth rescue team arrives. At the end, Atlas recovers with a synthetic knee and becomes a ranger. Jake brings her a glowing flower. She's surprised to find Smith's discs installed in her new arc suit, allowing their partnership to continue. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our recap. Like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.